Yeah. Wonderful. So let us continue. My computer was totally choked, so I had to store away some files, and then I lost all the numbers. So, and that's why the delay. And yes, for some reason, yesterday's wonderful satsang with the Brazilians, I could not open it, even though it got recorded. It wouldn't open. And so it would be a good idea if one of you simultaneously temporarily records it on your computer, so so we don't lose it. I'm afraid we may have, I'm going to call Zoom to see if we can retrieve it. It's there on my computer, but it just doesn't convert. For those of you who have recorded would know this, you see.
Shuddha está pidiendo, por alguna razón su computadora tuvo problemas y ayer no pudo grabar, entonces pide si alguien puede grabar la sesión para no perderla.
Yeah. So
Ahí
it's
ya pedí permiso y ya me lo dieron.
Yeah,
okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, right, good. So as long as one other Mahatma who is actively participating records, if Fabi is absent, somebody else should record. But and multiple persons can record. To me, it really doesn't matter, So whoever wants to record, just record. But recognize it's 2 gigabytes each. So no, 1 gigabyte each. So it will choke up your computer if you don't do something with it. All right.
Bueno, si alguien lo puede grabar, lo graba, que vea que su computadora no se desbalancee porque lleva como 2 gigabytes y se lo reenvían a Shuddha.
Yeah, but you can check what you do. Once you record, just save the main.
Podés, Gaby, si podés, hacelo.
Sí, sí.
Porque lo que hice es, si lo hacemos uno más, sí, que le den permiso.
Necesito permiso.
So you're all right. But let's make it a rule.
Creo que no se puede grabar en 2 computadoras diferentes.
No, dijo que sí,
¿Sí?
se puede. Lo que le pasó ayer es, él lo pudo grabar, lo que no puede hacer es recuperarlo. Entonces, para asegurarse de que no le vuelva a pasar lo mismo y no se pierda la info.
Okay, all right, good. So it's good. Now let us continue with our sessions in Satsang with Dada. And let us
The last title was in page 55, and the title is When Roll the Experience of Alma Pura.
Good. Good. Thank you.
Yes.
That
we have done that.
55. That is the experience of Amapura, right? All right, let's while have you already sung the 3 mantra or you need to sing it?
No, we need to sing it, of course.
All right,
with you.
okay. All right. All right, so let us have one person. Where is everybody? Harman, let us have you sing the 3 mantra.
Harman, ¿cantas el trimantra?
Sí.
Gracias.
Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Sitanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam Cha Sauvesi, Padamam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Namo Vitragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhana, Namo Ayariyana, Namo Vasayana, Namo Loye Sabasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Sabapava Panashano, Mangalanam cha Sauvesi, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Namo Vitragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso Panchanamukaro, Sabapava Panashano, Mangalanam cha Sauvesi, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand.
Jai
Satchitanand.
Shuddha, está en mute.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so all right, so whenever any of our Mahatmas are offering a Vidhi or a Tri Mantra, the rest of us should energize that Mahatma by praying for his separation from the singer. May he be the knower of the one who is singing, and give him all the energies to do magnificent work for Dada. Okay. So this, whenever a colleague Mahatma, whenever any Mahatma is putting his first foot forward in Akram Vignan, in anything, any venture of that is visible now, we should all energize that human being. May all the energies be with you. May you rise. May you shine to the level where the world appreciates Dada. You see, where the world appreciates Dada. That should be our prayers.
Es que cada vez que cante un Mahatma esté haciendo algo para Dada, que todos pongamos nuestras más elevadas intenciones en bendecirlo y energizarlo para que pueda seguir su camino, no importa quién sea.
Yes. So, so the next heading today, which is on Gujarati page, middle of Gujarati page 55, as our dear Patricia mentioned, which this is an exercise for all of us, because we're going word by word and sentence by sentence directly from the original Gujarati, and as we write a sentence, it gets corrected even in the eyes of Shuddha. So, it is a very interesting project for all of us. And of course, the material that we are using is absolutely classic. You see, it's the entire 360-degree knowledge, the science of Akram Vignan being presented by Pujya Niruma.
Yes. Es muy importante esto que estamos haciendo porque estamos traduciendo directamente del Gujarati y estamos viendo y aprendiendo esto, incluso para los propios ojos de Shuddha, es una profundización. Y es un profundo trabajo entero que es los 360 grados del conocimiento de la ciencia del Akram Vignan que nos dio nuestra querida Niruma.
Thank you, Marcella, for the Spanish written translation, my dear. No, the we are becoming familiar with these new words called ras, ni ras, simply interest and no interest, no real interest and no real interest, no real interest and the state of disinterest, you see, disinterest, interest, disinterest.
Bueno, estamos familiarizándonos con las palabras ras y niras. Uno es como no, el estado de desinterés y el no real interés.
And then there is this another word coming up, and these are all fundamental language models. This is at the code word language level, and the language of communications. So this next word is Saras. Saras means nice, good, tasty, everything that is pleasant. You see now, Saras, pleasant. If you make a nice painting and somebody says it's nice, so it's Saras. Saras. So Ras, Niras, Saras. These are all relative words, these are all relative words.
Yes. Bueno, y hay una palabra nueva que es Saras, y Saras significa lo bonito, lo lindo, lo bueno, lo sabroso. Y si hiciste una pintura, una hermosa pintura. Estas tres palabras son palabras relativas, de lo relativo.
A beautiful world, otherwise known as Saras, without Ras. This is the new heading. Without Ras. So in other words, it's a beautiful world without Ras. Without Ras. We have spent a lot of time in previous satsangs on Ras, Niras, but the world is beautiful if your current salivation in that which is going on from your end internally, like internally, if you do not have to really participate in the enjoyment of Patricia or Gabi or Susan or Laura. If Laura is enjoying something delicious, let her. You don't need to jump in and say, "Can I join in?" Okay.
Esta palabra, el mundo es hermoso, este es el título, ¿no? Sin ras, es bello el mundo sin ras. ¿Y a qué se refiere esto? Por ejemplo, cuando vemos algo rico, enseguida en la boca se produce una salivación. Y está bien que Patricia, Laura y todos coman algo rico, pero no tratemos de saltar y entrar a ese evento.
Yes, these lines, all of these lines of Dada that we have been sharing for now 30 sessions. Today is probably 30th session. All of these are unique sentences that do not have much connection in the world as we know it. You see, this is all an internal view for each one of us. This is an internal thing. It is, well, you know, for example, somebody offers you a cup of coffee and then he says, what, you don't like it? You know, that is not what we are talking about here. Like, dislike. This is now Amapura level, like, dislike, you see?
Yes. Por ejemplo, bueno, estas líneas que estamos viendo son las líneas de Dada y llevamos ya esta debe ser la sesión número 30. Y son palabras únicas y no tienen ninguna relación o conexión con lo relativo o mundano. Todo esto tiene que ver lo interior. Por ejemplo, si alguien viene y te invita a un café y no tomas el café, el otro va a decir, no te gusta el café. Y no se trata de eso, se trata del gusto o no gusto del alma pura.
Yeah, so Dadashri essentially says that even, you know, even without your interest, without yours and my interest, Amapura, Cecilia, Marcella, without your interest, this world of Marcella, Cecilia, Anila, Luz is such that it will run beautifully. Now this is, you know, this is not an easy sentence it's not something that people of the world can understand, but you and I are now at the level that we can begin to understand it, you see?
Yes.
Dada
dice que sin nuestro interés, el interés de Cecilia, Marcela, Nila, Luz, el mundo bellamente correrá para nosotros y esto comienza con el entendimiento.
Yeah, there's an interesting sentence that comes out from Dada next. Dadashri says, you know, Dadashri says there's no problem in being near us in this world. Near us. Near us is another beautiful word, like nirlep, you know. Nirlep, of course, is a fundamental quality of the Amapura. Nirlep, there is, you know, you dip it in honey 1,000 times, and when it comes out, nothing sticks to it. There's nothing dripping or nothing sticking. That is so nirlep, you see. And the self, Amapura, we are so nirlep, you know. Nothing can anoint us, nothing can smear us. And now this next sentence is, Dada says, Ras is Upadhi. In Upadhi, you all know Adi Vyadi Upadhi is in externally induced problem invited, you see. Now, let me give you that sentence so you will know it. Ras, Ras e Upadhi che. Upadhi, Adi, Vyadi, Upadhi. You all know all these three words. Adi means mental problems. Vyadi means physical problems. Upadhi means, oh, where did this come from? You know, outside, you know. So Dadashri says, Ras is an Upadhi. Upadhi. Ras.
Bueno, Dada dice que no hay problema con el nirás y en realidad no y nirlep también es la otra palabra. Es una palabra fundamental del alma pura donde absolutamente nada se pega, ¿no? Es como si pusieras la mano en miel y nada se pegara y nada nos molesta porque es el alma pura. Y ras es upadip y es externamente es como inducirnos al problema.
You see, one become near us, you see. Now when Dada says become near us, when Dada says near us Sudamian, become near us. It doesn't mean he's addressing Damian. Dada says, Damian, you become Niras. You. Damian Dadashri looks at any one of us. He is not addressing this body with a form and a face. He is the medium through which he directly connects to your middle one, the one who is the Gnani, you see, who is becoming more and more Gnani day by day, you see, the awakened one. So when Dadashri says, Damian, become Niras, he's addressing you, whom he has lifted up, you see.
Dada dice, vuélvete Nirás, Damián, tú, vuélvete Nirás. Y no tiene que ver con la forma, no mira la forma ni mira la cara. Es él te conecta con el del medio, con el Gnani. Dada te eleva,
Niras, you cannot make Damian Shuddha lose Rosi Niras, that is a programmed complex, when the thoughts come of something like a mango, if you happen to like a mango, the moment they, and many who have been raised eating mangoes, they even like to eat, raw mangoes, cut it up and put salt and chili pepper on it and just kind of eat it, you see, a bit like a salad, so like, even the thought of it produces automatic reactions inside this body complex, you see, and that cannot be prevented.
Yes. No puedes hacer que alguien se vuelva Nirás, ni Rosy, ni Luz, ni Damián, ni nadie. Esto es todo un proceso interno, inclusive hasta los más elevados que comen mango, le ponen un poquito de sal, pimienta y hacen una ensalada con eso, y no puedes prevenir el gusto por eso.
Yeah, that's a process that is happening in Mangaldas, like Mangaldas means this body complex. Amapura, pure one, that is where we need to be. Absoluto Amapura is what we are going in the direction of in these satsangs. And the middle one is getting more and more energized to move in the direction of the Absolute One. And the middle one now knows that that this tasting of the pleasant and the bitter fruits is not of the Amapura, not mine. The tasting is happening, the rejection is happening, you see, and that is how it is.
Yes. Todo eso, el sabor, ¿no? de la comida o cualquier cosa así, tiene que ver con el Mangaldas, que es el body complex. Ahí es donde sucede. Nosotros estamos en alma pura y vamos allí en estos satsang. Y el del medio cada vez se vuelve más y más absoluto y sabe que el placer y lo amargo no es del alma pura.
Excuse me, getting the other she says, for instance, if you need to there's no problem in running the world of Carlos or of Damian or Herman, or our relative world. There's no problem. Or do what, and no problem if you want to have a nice haircut, all right? You want to go and get a stylish haircut, right? Gabi or Fabi. The problem So where's the problem? If you want to go spend half a day to a special salon once in a while to get the super haircut, there is no problem. Go get it done. But the rush in it, rush in getting a stylish haircut is the problem. It's a very subtle sentence, right?
Yes.
Rush in it means,
Dada dice,
yeah, go on, sorry, go on. Yeah.
Dada dice, por ejemplo, ¿no? Que si Carlos y Germán en lo relativo quieren ir a la peluquería, vayan, háganlo, no hay absolutamente ningún problema, dice Dada. El problema es el rush de ir al estilista, de ir a la peluquería. Todos podemos ir a la peluquería, pero el interés, el saborear todo eso es el problema. El rush es el problema.
Excuse me, I do need to, sorry, go ahead. No, all right, just, okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, I got distracted by the phone call, but there are certain things. Okay. If Dadashri says, even if you're getting a haircut 12 times a month, am I going to scold you and say anything about why are you doing it 12 times a month? And I would, on a contrary, probably think that it's good because the poor barber is making some money or the stylist is making some money. It's good for her, you see.
Por ejemplo, si vas 12 veces al mes a la peluquería, yo no te diría absolutamente nada, porque en definitiva también el barbero o el peluquero también necesitan ganar dinero.
Yeah, good for the business of the other one. So there's something good the other looks at the positive aspect of it. You see, 12 haircuts a month means much more money for the stylist or the barber, right? Now, the other Shri says, but that interest in getting it done, just looks, some people spend hundreds of dollars for the way their hairs look, but no, that's okay. Go ahead and do it. You can afford it, but your interest in it is the problem. How am I looking? Oh, I spot people looking at me, people looking at my hair from behind, constantly arranging your hair, trying to put poses of your face to the public, you see. Well, that is a rush. That is a rush, right, Laura? Right, Laura? Yes, dear. Yes.
Dada de ninguna manera lo lleva hacia el lado de los negocios, ¿no? De los buenos negocios, ¿no? Que el barbero y el estilista también trabajen. Y el problema no es ir a la peluquería 20 veces al mes. El interés en eso es el problema. Es estar todo el día pensando en cómo me veo, en arreglarme el cabello, en hacer poses, en qué es lo que la gente piensa de mí, en cómo se ve mi cabello atrás y todo eso. Ese es el problema.
When Shuddha had just finished his medical school, he had hair like our Cecilia here, you see, his hair was just like this. And when he started walking in the, I never thought much about it, but when he started walking in the hospitals here in US with in front of the patient, not as many of these Afro-American ladies would look at me. As soon as I walk in with my fellow doctors, they will say, wow, look at that hair, and that's when I realized, then I realized, man, I need to do something about it. Otherwise, yeah.
Dice Shuddha que cuando terminó sus estudios de medicina y tenía la cabeza muchos rulos, así como Cecilia, y cuando empezó a trabajar iba con sus compañeros médicos, todo el mundo decía, oh, los rulos de cómo tiene el pelo, una cosa así, entonces Shuddha pensó que había que hacer algo con ese pelo.
And I had very big, dark, black mustaches with that kind of hair, and everybody thought I was from Mexico.
También tenía unos bigotes muy oscuros y grandes y la gente pensaba que era mexicano.
Yeah, yes. Russ. So it is Russ, my friends, it's Russ.
Y todo eso es ras.
It's all ras, The question is, the awareness of the fact that this is the residual ras. This is the residual interest of Fabi or Carlos or Shuddha or Herman in this aspect of life is the exactness of the Niras state. In other words, you're aware that this thing, even this shall pass, even this will go away, even this is now leaving, it's leaving. It's not accumulating, it's not something new, you see, Niras. Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Dice Dada también que esto es esta conciencia, este conocimiento, es darnos cuenta de que el ras es residual en este aspecto de la vida, porque se va a ir yendo y entramos en niras y nos damos cuenta de que esto pasará, que no acumularemos y que no vendrá nada nuevo.
This ras, this interest is above. This interest is what stirs up kashais lying, if there are any, inside you with your input, with your, they may pull you inside, you see, but not for Mahatmas if they recognize that this is happening at the non-self complex level. This is, it's very hard to believe all of this, very hard to kind of feel that it is separate when these things are acting up, you see. You say, what? It's not happening to me? Answer, no, it is not happening to you. No, it is not happening to you, That it is in your neighbor, it's happening to your best friend. It is your file 1 is your best friend, It's happening to file 1. Only if that rus becomes such that it involves hurting others, that is where now you need to not simply let the car drive in, or what you call this, cruise control. You need to really pay attention now, you see. That's all. That is where you need to be careful.
Yes. El interés es como una puerta que abre a los kashais si todavía queda alguno. Y para todas las personas que no están en este camino, el interés despierta a los kashais. Para los mahatmas esto pasa en el complejo del cuerpo, mente y habla. Y a veces es difícil, le preguntan a Dada, ¿esto me sucede a mí? No, esto no te sucede a ti, esto le sucede a tu file one, que es tu amigo y es tu vecino. Es el salir, el ras es peligroso cuando hiere a otros y esto hay que observarlo cuando vamos en forma automática. Ahí entonces tenemos que mirar y volver al alma pura.
Yes, you see, this focus on the ras, it's a good way to kind of look within when you're quietly sitting and say, oh Dada, oh my Lord within me, let me see where is the ras, where is the stickiness of my interest, you see. If you touch a little bit of honey, with your fingers, you immediately find it sticky and you want to wash it off, you want to wash your hands. You will not be happy until it comes back to the normal feeling of your hands, you see, right? It is stickiness. We don't like something sticky in our hands, In the same way, the one who is moving to become one, to become absolutely free, can see where is the stickiness of the interest. You see, there is, if it's watery stuff, it won't stick too much, It just, even if it's soapy, if you just rub it off or wash it off, it'll go away. But this sticky stuff like honey, it is sticky because of your interest. It becomes stickier because of your interest, and because it becomes stickiest because of your extreme interest. And these are the these are not new. They're happening to Damian, to Shuddha, to Laura, to Fabi. They're happening. Yeah. And in the seeing is the liberation. In the seeing it as it is, in seeing it as it is the liberation. Yes.
Yes. Lo importante es enfocar en el RAS, ¿no? Y cuando nos enfocamos en el RAS, puedes pedirle al Lord que está en mí que por favor me permita ver lo pegajoso del RAS, ¿no? Por ejemplo, si tocamos la miel, siendo Mahatmas, tocamos la miel y vamos a sentir que queda pegajoso en nuestras manos. Y no nos gusta esto pegajoso. Entonces, ¿qué hacemos? Inmediatamente vamos a lavarnos las manos para liberarnos de lo pegajoso. Y no quiero tener nada pegajoso que sea por mi interés, y tener interés por eso o extremo interés en eso. Esto no es nuevo, nos sucede a todos, pero ya poder ver qué sucede, eso es para celebrar.
Now Dada is the next heading. I think we may have covered just a little bit of the initial beautiful deeper conversation by Dada in this. Did we cover this heading? When will experience of the Ama happen? Ama Pura happen? Atmanubhav kya thashe? Did we cover this heading? Anyone know? I have to look at the notes. What do you think, Fabi? Did we cover this? I think you were typing this last time, right, Fabi?
I was not here last week. Sorry.
Oh, okay, I don't.
Marcella.
Marcella?
No, Shuddha, I don't think so.
Okay, good. All right. So, all right. Okay, because I know I'm going with the same things with all groups. So if they are at different different pages, the Brazilians are far behind you, but because we get two sessions a week with you. Anyway, so let us see. Dada says someone was asking me that when will this Amapura experience, Atma Anubhav happen? When will it happen, Dada? So and of course he has had the Atma Anubhav and experience with the Ama in the Gnan Vidhi, but now this person is asking what he means is when will I be able to taste it completely? When will I be able to experience it completely? Atmanubhav. So, the full experience of the Amapura. That's what Dada is asking. And Dada.
Yes. Atma Anubhav, cuando sucede, ¿no? Como la experiencia del alma, la experiencia absoluta. Nosotros tuvimos la experiencia del alma en el Nanvidi, pero ahora la pregunta que le hacen es cuándo experimentaremos el alma pura completamente.
And Dada's reply is phenomenal, and of course we can understand it, that in all of this Vishayo, when Ras, in all Vishayo, now Vishayo flies away, flies away, vanishes, you see, vanishes. And the Ras becomes seated in Ama. Then Atma Anubhav, I'm typing AE for that Ama experience. Ama experience will happen. Okay. Now, this is like a fundamental sentence of Dada, Marcella will give it to you in a minute here. When will Ama experience become exact? Sorry, go on. If I don't stop, then you will. You don't.
En todo es solamente en respuesta cuando vamos a tener la experiencia completa del alma. Nada dice que esto va a suceder cuando el ras, el vijay, que es desaparecer, que cuando el ras desaparezca, se vuele. Entonces, ahí va a estar la experiencia exacta del alma pura.
Okay, so multiple meanings of Vishay, Vishay Vikar in Kalam 6, in Vishay Vikar, that is the sexual interest. And then, the movement in the sexual direction is called Vishay Vikar. Vikar means to move in that direction. The movement is not physical. That is the end result. The movement is internal movement. The whole body stirs up, you see, which I don't have to explain to you, but that is one meaning of Vishay. Vishay also means subject. Somebody is interested in growing roses, another one is interested in growing fruits, another one is interested in, writing books. It's all Vishay, all subjects, you see, all topics, anything that moves a human being in a particular direction with interest, you see.
Yes. Vijay Vikai, que tienes con el Kalam número 6, es con el interés en el sexo. Pero no es un... el interés no es un movimiento físico, es algo interno que sucede dentro del cuerpo. Vijay es sujeto, ¿no? Y es hacia qué moviliza a la persona. Algunos a sembrar rosa, a tener rosas, otros a cocinar, otros a escribir. Es lo que mueve la persona hacia algo.
I have a neighbor here in my neighborhood, an older gentleman, an artist, who has all his life painted beautiful paintings of nude women in black and white and color, but mostly black and white, all his life in his studio in Manhattan, now retired here. And yet I asked him, when we were together and I said, did you ever feel like touching them? No. He says, my interest was in just following the lines on the paper, on the the paint board, on the print, what you paint on or what you print on, what you sketch on. That was all my interest. So this is his Vishay. He never touched any one of these lovely women. It's all kinds of Vishay in this world,
Shuddha tiene un vecino que es artista y toda su vida pintó y pintaba hermosas mujeres desnudas, ¿no? Y las pintaba en blanco y negro. Entonces Shuddha le pregunta si alguna vez había sentido el interés o el deseo de tocarlas. Él dice, no, no, nunca, nunca toqué a ninguna de estas mujeres, las modelos que él pintaba o tenía interés, solo era seguir las líneas. Ese era su interés, nunca las tocó.
So Shuddha told him, I said, you know, your paintings are beautiful because you never tried to do anything else. You were just seeing beauty in the lines. Because after all, it is just lines, right? It is just lines. Akar. It's just lines, right? Lines of the face,
Yes.
lines of the body.
Yes. Shuddha dice, y le dijo a Shuddha, dice, bueno, pintas hermoso, porque en realidad lo que estás pintando son las líneas, es una cara, es un cuerpo.
Yeah. And when there's, if it's same lady or same man, after a few years, if you see him, what? You have become so fat, or what? You become so thin, all the attraction kind of decreases. Does it not, Damian? Or does it remain the same?
Y después ves esas hermosas mujeres, esos hermosos hombres, y después de un par de años y los ves que, oh, estás gordo, oh, estás demasiado flaco, o nada permanece igual.
Yeah, it's the same. You see, the beauty lies within. That is a sentence of Mahatma Gandhi. Says, true beauty lies within. True beauty lies within. Yeah, and we have discovered that beauty. We all have experienced that beauty. You see.
Yes. La verdadera belleza yace en el interior, ¿no? Y Gandhi también decía esto, que la verdadera belleza sale en él, y nosotros ya todos lo hemos descubierto esto. ¿Es así?
So now the questioner, when Dada says that when your interest in all Vishayo, Vishay is multiple meanings. Vishayo means plural, Vishay, Vishayo, it's the plural, many, many, so, in the plural word for Vishay, you say plural, not singular.
Yes. And the question was, sorry.
So now the questioner is asking, as in the discharge form, in the form of discharge, questioner is now asking collectively for all of us to Dada. He says, Dada, we encounter all kinds of shapes. Akar means shapes. We encounter all kinds of shapes of the mind, of the body. They keep coming, you see, shape of the mind. Sometimes the shape of the mind of a human being, there's a lines of a mind of a human being. They're internal lines, but you like to be with that human being because that is the lines of the mind of the human being, you see. Or you like the face of a person, you see. The lines of, so you like to be near that person, you see. You like the eyes or whatever, so Dada says, Dada, all of these lines of mind and body keep coming to us, from morning till evening. So what if we get interested in them, Dada? So what if the ras, the juice, the taste drops into it, what if we get interested in it? That is what Dada is asking Dada.
Le hacen la pregunta acá en plural sobre estas formas de descarga, ¿no? Que tienen que ver con con el interés. Entonces, encontramos todas formas de líneas, tanto en la mente, en la voz, en los ojos, en la cara, y hay algo que nos produce placer, que nos gusta estar con esta persona, ¿no? Entonces le pregunta a Dada, ¿qué pasa si siguen viniendo esto y si nos interesamos en ello?
So the answer of Dada all of us will love this answer of Dada, okay? And it's important, magnificent, solid step in our rise in Akram Vignan. Dadashri says, but that is coming in the form of discharge, no? All right?
Oh, esta oración, la respuesta de Dada nos va a encantar a todos, dice Shuddha. Y la respuesta, ¿qué pasa si siguen viniendo, no? Estas cosas interesantes en nuestra vida. Y Dada responde, pero bueno, vienen en forma de descarga, ¿no?
So then the questioner still persists and says, but Dada, but what if interest falls in that? So it's a very subtle line, this subtle line of demarcation between Amapura, that Shuddhatma, Amapura, and Absolute Amapura. Now he's talking about this Amapura, like you and I. He says, what if the interest falls in it? You see? But એમાં રસ પડે તો, what if I, in other words, now the I, the Amapura, who is not complete yet, says, what if I get interested in it? You see?
Bueno, acá la persona que pregunta insiste, dice, pero Dada, si el interés cae en ello, ¿no? Y acá hay como una sutil línea de demarcación entre el alma pura y el alma pura absoluta, la absoluta alma pura. ¿Qué pasa si el alma pura cae en ello, en el ras?
What if I, the exact translation is right there in which I've given, but what if Ras falls into it? I have to kind of derive the level here for you, share it with you, and see if that is exactly what is conveyed. Because Dada says it, where the Ras falling into it is, because that is a discharge, is also part of discharge. And I always like to tease Damian by saying, Damian is sitting happily, having a cup of coffee, beautiful sun, nice wind, breeze, flowers all around, a beautiful lady walks by, all right. And now Damian looks at her not only once, but twice or three times, right? That is discharge. That is discharge. That is what Dada said, okay? Now, yours is only the awareness component. That all other women who are walking by, he just hardly looked, continued to have his coffee. This one, he's looking, she entered that shop, So that sort of stuff. You see now, so what if the Ras falls into it? I think that's Damian asking the question now, okay, this question. But what if Ras falls into it, okay? You understand where I'm coming at? Very fine layers of rising inside, okay? Mm-hmm.
Yes. En Ras, también en ello es una descarga, ¿no? Podemos ver que Damián está sentado, cuando tiene una taza de café, hay flores hermosas, una bella mujer que pasa y la mira una, dos, tres veces, bueno, y eso es descarga. Y es tener la conciencia de poder ver que eso son una descarga. Y así las finas capas van saliendo.
Yeah. So Dadashri's reply is very exact, and it's 2 line. I need to give it exactly to you. દાદાશ્રી પણ આ જાણ્યું ત્યારથી આપણા મનમાં એમ થાય ને કે આ ચાખવા જેવું નહોતું, એટલે ભાવ બદલાય ને તમારા. ઓકે, as having known this from that point onwards, would it not arise in our mind that this was not worth tasting? And let me give you the last. Excuse me. એટલા ભાવ બદલાય ને તમારા. Your ભાવ, intent changes by that much. No, that much. Absolutely phenomenal. Satsang with Dada. We should, translate that and then we discuss it.
El conocimiento de que el Gnan, del Akram Vignan, va a hacer que esto no surja en nuestra mente, esto no vale la pena probar. Pero tú tiene la intención de cambiar así tanto.
Yeah. See, he catches us all at that fundamental level. He says, this wouldn't have, let me just check something here. Where is our dear? Okay, I'm getting some. All right. All right, okay. All right. You see, having known, you say this known business is now the critical factor. It is this knowing that we have all entered into is the eternal knowing. It is not the temporary knowledge that vanishes. It is not, it is the knowledge, it is the knowing beyond and above any illusion, you see. So this knowing, having known this, and the other says, now you, Damian, Shuddha, Patricia, now you have entered the knowing, yes, a phase of the, which is yours. Yours is the world of knowing, to know. And having known this, would you not know that this was not worth tasting? This was not worth tasting. Would you not, the other wouldn't say no, would you not feel it in your mind? Would the mind not accept that this was not worth getting into? You see, would the mind not show that this is not worth getting into? So, you see, this is the human experience, you see. With the difference that this human experience never vanishes. You see, it is always there in the form of the stock of the knower. Now the knowing has begun, not knowing through the intellect, No, this is knowing, this is the knowledge of the self, you see. This is prajna now telling you, hey, What's the meaning of it all? Prajna doesn't say, Prajna doesn't tell you more. It just kind of lets you see it in the light of the knower. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Teniendo este conocimiento en el que todos entramos, es el conocimiento de lo eterno, es más allá y sobre cualquier ilusión. Entramos en este conocimiento y es el mundo del conocimiento, y habiéndolo conocido, sentimos que esto en la mente, nos damos cuenta, conocemos que no vale la pena haber entrado en eso, ¿no? Que el prajna nos dice que no vale la pena haber entrado en eso. Y a todos nos pasa, es la experiencia humana. Nosotros, y es entrar en eso, que cuando recibimos que no vale la pena entrar, y seguimos entrando, y ahí es como que nos quedamos atrapados. Ahora, como Mahatma, teniendo el conocimiento del ser, el prajna nos dice, no vale la pena entrar allí.
Mm-hmm. My friends, everyone here in this satsang, we have come to some very critical level of awareness, which we need to understand. Every human experience, every human being experiences something with every event and circumstance. But now the experience is at a different level. Now that other experience of other human beings, including us, before the Gnan Vidhi was, we tasted it, we got a beating, we forgot. We tasted it, we got for more beatings, we got terrible beatings, and we forgot. You see, it didn't remain with us. But now something has changed. Now we are able to see, not only we are able to see in this entire life of ours so many subtle level internal rusts that landed us in trouble. And on top of that, now we are at a level where we are able to really see that the intentions of this one, Shuddha or Laura or Damian, are changing. It is Amapura, but the intentions are changing. And the intentions are changing because of this fundamental phrase of Dada. It wasn't worth tasting. It wasn't worth it. You see? Well, and that intention has to change through the experience. It cannot change through the words of someone else. It cannot change. It is an internal change, you see. It is an internal change. Your intention changes. Your bhav changes. Before you were running after it, and now you know that all that chase is over. The chase is not there. Chase, you see, to chase something. And now you are at a level where even if it comes to you, available to you freely, without running, your intention inside has changed. That is knowledge. That is part of this knowledge, you see. Sorry, spoke so long. Go on.
It's beautiful. Este nivel de conciencia es tan elevado, tan sutil que estamos a un nivel donde necesitamos poder entenderlo, en evidencias, en circunstancias, ¿no? Pueden pasar, vemos cómo a las otras personas les sucede. Nosotros también hemos pasado por eso y hemos probado, mordido o hecho y olvidamos. Y ahora algo cambió y podemos ver desde lo interno los niveles del RAS, que lo único que hacen es meternos en problemas. Y que realmente la intención de Shuddha, de Damián, de Laura, han cambiado las intenciones en todo, ¿no? Y por eso no vale la pena probar. Entonces, cuando nos damos cuenta de esto, la experiencia nos cambió. Todos cambiamos, ¿no? El VAP cambió. Entonces, no vale la pena correr atrás de nada. Y aunque también venga servido o esté ahí sin tener que correr y sin tener que hacer nada, nuestro propio conocimiento nos dice que no vale la pena.
Yeah. You see this is all happening at the mind, internal level, at the body level. But as we are in this body, which has arisen out of ignorance, this body that has arisen out of ignorance, this shape, this mind, this content inside the body complex, out of ignorance is now being dissolved naturally through this Gnan. You see, through this Gnan of the self, which Dada is now explaining in detail to us. You see, what is happening? He's happening to us. He's showing to us the exact mechanism of what is the science that is happening inside you and I, you see. There is no doer, it is happening. It is happening.
Yes. Podemos ver con todo esto que las cosas suceden dentro de la mente y el cuerpo, ¿no? Es algo que es interno. Pero ahora nosotros estamos fuera de la ignorancia, podemos ver que lo que sucede en la mente y en el cuerpo también se va disolviendo y se va disolviendo de forma natural. Y esto se disuelve en el Nan del ser. Y esto nos muestra lo que sucede. No hacemos, sucede.
You see? Now, Dadashri says something further, which is interesting. He says, so the questioner agreed, yes, the bhav changes. And the bhav is not just simply intention. It is the location-based intention. I think we discussed in last satsang. Location-based intention. If you are in a bar or a nightclub, the intention changes. If you are in a church, the intention changes. You see, bhav changes. You see some human being suffering, your intention changes. If you see someone hurting others, your intention changes. So the bhav is a highly volatile thing. You see, it's just not for you and I anymore now, because we are focusing only on the intent that is happening inside the mind of file one. We are not concerned with what is happening in anyone else, you see.
Dice que el va cambiando y cambia en la locación basado en la intención. Esto ya lo vimos la otra vez. Por ejemplo, estás en un bar, tenés una intención, estás en una iglesia, tenés otra intención. Si ves a alguien sufrir, también cambia tu intención, y si se ves herir a alguien, también tu intención cambia. No para nosotros, porque nosotros estamos enfocados en la mente de nuestro Fire One, no en la mente de otra persona.
So the person agreed, yes, the intent, bhav changes, not of Amapura, but of this ship and that is sailing in the oceans of life, this ship called Damian, Laura, Herman, that is a very complex machinery, but at the fundamental level is guided by the intent. You see, the vow of that arises inside, you see, arises inside. And we still have this as a file, you see.
Yes. Yes.
You know, sorry, go on.
La intención, el VAB cambia, ¿no? Y es como un barco que puede ser Damián, Luz, Germán, que navega por el océano. Es una maquinaria compleja, y está guiada por la intención, por el VAB que surge dentro.
Yeah.
Y todavía lo tenemos.
You know, so Dadashri now says,
sorry, lo tenemos en nuestro archivo 1.
Dadashri now says, he says, and that which has been tasted, because you cannot taste with intent only. You know, intent is at the driving level. You know, it's the fuel that drives this. You see, it's the stimulus. So you cannot taste at the intent level. You taste it at the experience level. You see, no, you can think about, you can think about something all day long, but until you experience it, your thinking in that direction will continue. You see, oh, I want to try it. I want to taste it. No.
Yes.
Go on.
Dada dice que lo que fue probado no tiene que ver con la intención, ¿no? La intención es como el combustible que nos lleva a eso, sino que lo que fue probado es a nivel experiencia. Y esto continúa, ¿no? Hasta que no se experimenta, continúa.
So I have given you a Gujarati word that as the satsang is going on with you, I'm trying to formulate how to give it, how to really kind of give it to you so you all can understand it also, because the Dadashri says, Kadvu lagat sho, well, I'm jumping. The Dadashri says, what you have tasted, whatever you have tasted, even a little bit that you have tasted, if it was found to be pleasant, if it was felt as pleasure, then it will not refrain from giving its fruit. It will give its fruit. You see, the moment you find it pleasant, the moment you find it very, very pleasant, giving you pleasure, then it will not refrain. Then it can't stop for giving you its fruit. It will not stop. It will not stop there. It will give its fruit. All right.
Dada dice que lo que vos probaste, aunque sea un poquito, y lo encontraste placentero, entonces dará sus frutos, no parará hasta dar sus frutos.
And in the line of Vishay, and the most important Vishay is sexuality. Now, she says you went to taste it, and next thing you know, she tells you one morning, or he tell you one morning, I have missed my period. you know. All right, now, this is the beginning of the fruits, you see. Now, that is one example I'm giving you. I mean, it can go in so many different directions, but it all began with the experience of the pleasure. It's the experience of the pleasure. Here in Akram Vignan, now we are able to see this exactly as it all is. What appears to be pleasant is an entry into the world of life after life after life, you see. It gives it,
Yes.
and it gives pain as a result, you see. Patta dukham parampara.
Yes.
Mm.
El billete del sexo, pues lo pruebas y lo pruebas, sientes placer hasta que un día escuchas, no tuve mi periodo. Y entonces ahí empieza a dar sus frutos. Entonces la experiencia del placer vida tras vida termina trayendo dolor.
I'm giving you the next sentence. Dadashri says, "Kadvu lagadsho toj e bursai." And in other words, will it? Yeah. You see, only when, let me see what I read. Only when you find it bitter, painful, only when you find it bitter, that which began as pleasure, when you find it bitter, unpleasant, painful, then it will wipe off. Then only it will wipe off. These are all relative arising and subsidence, and we need to recognize our role in it. The moment you say, I love it, it's beautiful, I want it, you say it, the subatomic particles automatically get, stuck onto you. No more now. After Gnanvidhi, no. Okay, go on, please.
Yes. Solo cuando es amargo y doloroso, lo que empezó como placer, entonces lo queremos limpiar. Pero lo más importante es nuestro rol, reconocer nuestro rol en ello. Cuando nosotros decimos, yo amo esto, quiero esto, esto va a terminar dando sus frutos. No a nosotros que ya somos Mahatmas, pero esto sucede en la vida, en lo relativo, ¿no? En la vida mundana.
So the other Shri says, in other words, well, how do I find, and let's take it a very practical level, So, okay, yes, sir, yes, Damian. Damian?
So all this rise will go alone. And just in one moment, we will find it unpleasant or bitter.
Yeah, it builds up. It builds up in everything. In other words, this body is neutral, The interest and the disinterest has to be seen is the highest way, but here in terms of tasting it, that what Dada is talking about, tasting it, is the new stuff, you see. This is the new stuff after Akram Vignan, If you go taste it one more time, if you go taste it again, don't enter into the taste. Damian is interested in the taste, but I do not want to be there, you see. I'm done with the tastes, you see. I am seeing Damian's tastes, and distastes, you see.
But in one moment, Damian will find it bitter.
Sooner or later, everyone finds it bitter. Sooner or later, no one enters in.
No. We just have to understand.
Absolutely. This is the fundamental sentence that we say in the Gnanvidhi too. We say, We say, ego me sa shopa, I am one eternal soul. I am one eternal soul. Nan darshan sanjuva, of the combination of knowledge and vision. Sesha me bahira bhava, the rest are external intentions. Bhav, remember this bhav that we've been talking about right now? The rest are all external intentions. Which arise, sanjog mulaji, and savve sanjog lakhana. These intentions arise due to circumstances. Circumstances. If you're just sitting in your home, no intention arises. You're having a cup of coffee on the busy street, a different intention, you see. Then, savve sanjog lakhana, intentions. Sanjog mula jivanam, at the root of every circumstance. This is the fundamental sentence that is so magnificent, Sanjog mula jivanam, at the root of all circumstance. Patta dukkham parampara, lies the generations and generations of pain. Pain. You see, pain. Tamha sanjog sambandham. So therefore all the circumstances, I am now just surrendering them to you, my Lord, within you. I'm done with it. You see, so that is what we say after the ama has been extracted in the Gnanvidhi for us. You see, all of that which is non-ama is being said. Ama is extracted. The doership part has been completely extracted, separated. Then we recite this. Ego me sasho appa nan darshan sanjuo sesha me bahira bhava sabve sanjog lakhana sanjog mula jivenam patta dukkham parampara tamha sanjog sambandham sabvam tivihen vosirami. I surrender them to you, my Lord. You see, so this has begun as a practical experience, practical result for all of us, Damian. Is pain.
Let me translate.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, go on.
Mi pregunta es que entonces el ras se va solo cuando lo empezamos a encontrar amargo. Y la respuesta, Patri, vos tenés anotado.
Mulero,
Qué tramposo, qué tramposo. Él disfrutó toda la respuesta y ahora marquémonos.
Está bien, está todo bien. Esto es es mental, ¿no? El cuerpo es neutral, no tiene ni interés ni desinterés, es probar lo nuevo, ¿no? Y esto lo vemos desde el Gnan. Y desde el Gnan vemos que no entres a probar, no quieres entrar a probar, ¿no? Por ahí lo ves a Damián que entra a probar, pero vos estás observando. El yo eterno, ¿no? Lo extremo de lo sublime, el alma, es el conocedor y la visión. Y es tener la intención externa que surgen debido a las circunstancias. No es la misma la intención que sucede en un bar o en una casa, son diferentes. Entonces, la raíz de toda circunstancia es la que genera dolor. Y esto es lo que le pedimos al Gnani, al Lord, ¿no? Que rindo todas mis circunstancias ante ti, mi Lord. Porque el hacedor fue ya separado y nosotros ahora podemos ver. Esta es una experiencia, el Ra se va por la práctica de la experiencia.
Yeah, see, Ras. And this is the vision. This is the vision, the U capital understanding of the awakened one. This is our vision, Damian, Gabi, our vision. Who am I in all of this? whose interest is it? Who gets burned by it? Who gets repelled by it? What's the meaning of it all? Where does it lead to? And what is my interest? What is my M capital? My interest. My interest is my Lord. My interest is to be who I am. And this what Dada is saying. Mithu lagad, kadu lagad sho toj e bhusai. In other words, it will only get wiped off if excuse me, if you find it bitter. If you find it bitter. Now, somebody will say, hey, I'm having fun, man. I don't find anything wrong or anything bitter in it. And that is not what we're talking about here, We're talking at a different level, understanding of bitterness, you see, what it leads to. This is a universal vision. This is a long vision, cause, effect,
Yes. El entendimiento de la visión, ¿no? De quién soy yo, quién es el que está interesado, quién lo repele, qué sentido tiene, a dónde esto me lleva, dónde mi interés es el Lord y ser quien verdaderamente soy. Y esto se va a limpiar únicamente cuando encontremos la amargura en ello. Y son diferentes niveles de amargura o pena. Y esto es el resultado de la causa y el efecto.
This is fundamental. This is really fundamental. People talk about Adam and Eve, and they talk about all kinds of the world after Adam and Eve, the world of Adam after Eve came along. You see, this is fundamental. But more important, the other says, if you really want the fruit, then taste it. You see, and the only problem is there was no Dada to tell Adam that if you want the fruit, then go ahead and taste it. And right? If you want the fruit, taste it. Dada is going at a very fundamental level, and he says only only then you will become vitarag. In other words, see it as it is. See what all this running around is all about, you see. See what this running around is all about. See what's happening in the mind, see what the mind leads to, see where the chit is running, see what the ego calls satisfaction. You see, what is the definition of satisfaction with reference to the ego? See who gets satisfied, etc.
Yes. El mundo después de Adán y Eva, pasó todo lo que pasó, ¿no? Si Dado hubiera estado allí, le hubiera dicho, bueno, si quieres probarla, pruébala. Dada nos dice que veamos, que observemos qué es lo que sucede en la mente, a dónde va el chip, el ego, la satisfacción del ego, qué es la satisfacción del ego y quién se satisface.
I think this is let's time for a break now. Let's take a little break, and then we return and see if anybody has more inputs into this and clarifications, or want to share anything. Okay, this is from yeah.
Vamos a un recreo, 10 minutes, Shuddha.
Yes.
Vamos a un recreo y volvemos y a ver si hay preguntas, y seguimos con esto. Thank you, Shuddha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Marcella.
Hola. Bien, estoy en Satsang. Estoy en Satsang, sí, estoy nerviosa. Termino a las 12:05 y te llamo. Vamos, y te confirmo, estamos confirmados, ¿no?
Sí, yo estoy dependiendo. Estoy dependiendo del horario tuyo, que me diga a qué hora querés.
A la hora que vos quieras, a la hora que vos quieras.
No, decime vos a qué hora te hacen la cosa y yo estoy ahí. ¿A qué hora querés que vaya?
Y venite 4:10, ¿te parece?
¿A qué hora tenés que estar?
4:20.
Patri, ¿te muteás, mi amor?
Prefiero estar esperando. Vamos a ir 3:30.
Perfecto.
3:30.
3:30.
Chau.
Quedamos así, igual te llamo. Chau.
Chau.
Ay, perdón, justo lo había desmuteado el teléfono. ¿Me escuchan ahora?
Sí, te escuchamos todo. Y vamos a estar pensando en vos. Pero como estábamos grabando.
Bueno, igual no es nada malo.
No pasa nada.
No, la verdad, me acompaña, viste que no quería ir con nadie. Llamó un amigo y me dice, no vas a ir sola. No, pero sí puedes ir sola, ya me lo dice esto sola, que no vas a ir sola, pues soy tu amigo.
Muy bien.
No me gritó así y bueno, está bien.
Hay veces que solo hay que hacer caso.
Viste, cuando viene en evidencia, ¿no? Que te acompaña varias personas, y yo no, está bien. No, y bueno, ya está.
Yo te escribí por privado. Sí, porque estoy colgada y no sabía de qué se trataba. Le escuché una biopsia y me quedé.
Sí. Ahora a las 4:20 de la tarde voy. Lo más lindo que...
Shuddha is back.
Shuddha is back.
Qué lindo verte, Fabi.
Yes. So,
estás preciosa.
Mahatmas, anyone wants to say how they see this Satsang of Dada in terms of what they are able to, how they are able to see it?
Yes.
You know, I mean, Dada starts with Ras, and then he talks about, in contrast to Ras, he talks about Atma Anubhav, the experience of the self, Amapura, exacto, you know, and understanding discharge, and understanding that all Ras is discharge except your, Y capital, mind, except the interest. And that interest is also discharging, you see, that interest is also discharging. So where is the problem? You know, where are we, you know?
Yes. Acá estuvimos hablando de lo que es Ras y lo opuesto que es la experiencia exacta del alma pura y poder entender que todo es una descarga. Y en nosotros también el interés es una descarga. ¿Y dónde está esta?
And also,
and also?
Well, you know, and also don't let this scare you, or you know, say, well, how can I? Me too, lagard show toj ebusa. In other words, only when while one finds it bitter, that it will get wiped off. Okay, me too, lagard show. In other words, sorry, not me too. Okay,
Solo cuando el file encuentre amargo, se limpiará. Estas son las maravillosas
me too. So I took me too, because this is level 3 stuff, right? Me too. Sweet pleasant, etc. Right? Me too. And then the opposite of that is kadavu. Kadavu means bitter. Bitter, like, you don't like to taste it. Avoidance of tasting. You see, if you like it, like a bitter medicine, you don't like to swallow it, So this is the fundamental reactions of the Pudgal, the fundamental reactions of this body complex, you see. If there is any pain coming in this area, then if it's something is jabbing you here, then you move away from it, right? And something is touching you nicely there, then you say, oh yeah, give me more. Right?
Yes. Dice que Me Too es en Gujarati, ¿no? Que es lo placentero, lo dulce, y Kardhu es lo amargo, y el Pudgal evita probarlo cuando es amargo. Y esto es fundamental, ver que es una reacción del Pudgal. Si algo te molesta en el brazo, te empuja o te pincha, lo que tiende a hacer es correrte. Y si algo te gusta y es lindo, quieres más y más y más.
Yeah. And no amount of people telling you this is not good for you, this is not good for you, will change it. It is the inner experience of knowledge. It is knowledge-based experience of its total result, its full result. That is important. The knowledge has to come in. And the knowledge is the K capital knowledge. Is the knower has to come in here. Your Lord has to come in. Intellect will always drive you. Oh, what's wrong with it? It's consensual. It is both parties are willing. Nobody's going to get hurt, etc., etc. This you're all adults, mature adults. We are all. We know where this leads to, right? Right? We know that it. Oh, Gavi, you have to say anything about it? Yes, Gavi is a good question. Yes, Gavi.
Yes.
Please,
Oh,
déjame traducir. Lo fundamental que todo esto, bueno, no, dice que aunque la gente venga y te diga que esto no es bueno para ti, esto no va a funcionar. Funciona solamente el abandonarlo, que desaparezca el interés cuando el conocimiento estaba basado en la experiencia, es lo que da el resultado. Cuando el conocimiento tiene que entrar, el conocedor tiene que entrar, el Lord tiene que entrar. Y suponemos, hablamos, la mente, el cuerpo siempre trata de consensuar, bueno, hacemos esto, total, no herimos a nadie. Y no sabemos a dónde esto nos va a llevar. Sí lo sabemos, pero...
Yes, Gaby.
Yes, Shuddha, tengo una duda. Cuando Dada dice que nos quedan entre 1 y 3 vidas más, esas vidas que nos quedan, ¿vamos a vivirlas en este planeta o podríamos vivirlas en Mahavidexetra?
Her question is about, she has a doubt. When Dada says after 9 we are going to have 1 life more or 3 life more, where are we going to live, in this world or in Mahavira Shektra?
you and I are going to be in Mahavita Kshetra, okay? All right, because...
And me?
all of us, all of us.
All of us, okay.
Because we are here every week, just soaking up Dada and his agnas and his words and his love and his vision and his gnan. You see? So there's no other place. In other words, you and I are not saying, I want to come back to the world to help others. Right? Because, you have to come back to the world to help others. Well, we are one is saying we have got this message in exactness that it is with ignorance we got trapped, and with knowledge of who I really am in all of this, I'm free. For us, then with that knowledge of who am I, there is no question left about the future. We just have this body of Gabi to settle with equanimity. That's all. Just let it discharge, let it discharge. You see? And you are forever, so then what difference does it make where you are?
Bueno, dice que obviamente después de estar todas las semanas acá en Satsang, adorando a Dada, teniendo su conocimiento, escuchándolo, buscando a Dada, ¿no? Todos vamos a ir a Mahavir, etc. Salvo que alguien elija querer volver para ayudar a otros, alguien que tenga la real conciencia de quién verdaderamente somos, ¿no? Para quien trae un verdadero mensaje para que la gente, las personas puedan salir de la ignorancia y encontrar la liberación. Y en este punto es como no cuestionar el futuro porque somos eternos.
Gapi, we do not want to kind of play with words in terms of this location and this location and this name and this is where I will be. When, that is all relative level curiosity. The exact experience of who I am in all of this is all we want. Then that is what Niruma said. Keval Shuddhatma Anubhav Sivai. આ જગતની કોઈ પણ વિનાશી ચીજ મને જોઈતી નથી. That means, and that is the next heading that's coming up. And, it won't get done today. Which is Ichha, on desire. Okay.
Lo que Shuddha dice es que lo importante de la próxima vida no es la locación, ¿no? Porque todo esto es la curiosidad a nivel relativo. Y lo más importante es saber quién realmente soy yo, que eso es lo esencial. Y ahora vamos al otro título. The next slide.
Yeah. These words, this Lord of the 14 worlds, okay? There are 14 worlds. This Lord of the 14 worlds manifest within Gnani Purush Dadashri, you see, in 1958.
El Lord de los 14 mundos se manifestó en Dada en 1958.
He has designed our extraction from this Sansaar, this world of life after life, and he has given it to us to the level of experience in this very life, experience of the Ama. then as these files of Shuddha, of Gabi, of Fabi, etc., get settled in Agnas, okay, in Agnas, all the darshan, all the vision comes in front of us more and more and more, Yeah. Yes, it is natural to be curious, but in Agnas there is everything. In the Agna world, all the answers are there.
Yes. El diseño, este Lord de los 14 mundos que vino, diseño para nosotros retirarnos de este mundo samsara de la ilusión, y nos dio la experiencia del alma en esta vida. Entonces todos los archivos de Shuddha, de Gabi y de todos están dentro de las agnas, allí, y cuando tenemos las 5 agnas, resolvemos con las 5 agnas, todo el darshan viene. Es el mundo de las agnas lo que trae todas las respuestas.
Yeah, so, I'll give you 4 words in conclusion here. Maha means great, like, great. Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma, great soul. Deha is body, which includes the mind. Then third one is Videha, out of this body, beyond the body. And the fourth is Kshetra, which is, Kshetra is the location. So look, that Maha Videha Kshetra is out of body location, is right here and now for all of us. Maha Videha Kshetra. Ever since this satsang began, we were not in this body. We were seeing what is happening inside this body, isn't it? You understand?
Te voy a dar 4 palabras. Maha es grandioso, Veja es cuerpo-mente, Vida es más allá del cuerpo y Kshetra es locación.
Videha,
Entonces,
Videha.
Videha, más allá del cuerpo, y Kshetra es locación. Entonces, Mahavide Kshetra es aquí y para todos nosotros. Y estamos en Mahavide Kshetra desde que comenzó el satsang, que estamos más allá de este mundo.
It's human nature to seek physical proofs and physical existence, you see. Show me the place, show me the way, but this is the inner world of the enlightened ones, you see.
Es algo humano, ¿no? Buscar la existencia física, el lugar, el conocer, pero esto es interno.
Shuddhatma Bhagwan. we in deep reverence for this Dada and his words, you see, we say bye for today. Shuddhatma Bhagwan, until we meet again. All right. And so I will, with that, Mahavita Kshetra makes everybody quiet, but
yes, absolutely.
yeah, Mahavita Kshetra.
Jai Satchitananda Shuddha.
Jai Satchitananda. Yeah, Shuddhatma Bhagwan. Jai Satchitananda. Thank you, Marcella, and all the Mahatmas.
Jai Satchitananda.
Jai Satchitananda.
Muchas gracias. Jai
Jai
Satchitananda.
Jai Satchitananda.
Jai Satchitananda. Gonzalo, Sandra, Rosie, Isa, and Carlos, Sandra, Marcella, Claudia. Yeah. And
Jai
Anila.
Sachitana.
Jai
Jai
Sachitana.
Sachitana.
Jai
Muchas
Sachitana.
gracias.
Shuddha,
Jai
gracias.
Jai
Gracias,
Sachitana.
Patricia.
Rosie, yes, 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 Jai Sachitana.
Gracias a todos, gracias a todos. Thank you.
Gracias, Pati.
Jai Sachitana.